Welcome to my video on Relaxer and Antidotpro. First, you base the scalp all over in small sections, first in quadrants, then in subsections. So base the scalp fully all over. Also base around the outside of the hair, the hairline, very well. And then you apply the relaxer 1/8 of an inch away from the scalp. Remember, not directly on the scalp, but 1/8 of an inch away from the scalp. And you could use a brush, or you could use a brush, or you could use a rat tail comb. Here I'm using a brush from Fremar that I really like. It holds the product well, and it also has really nice bristles. So I really like the Fremar brush. So you could use that, or this brush is the rubber tip. I use that a lot. And I also use the rat tail comb. So you could use the back of the rat tail comb. If you have short hair, you could actually use your fingers to put the relaxer on the hair. So you just go on top and on bottom of the subsection to make sure that the product is getting fully on the hair, on every strand. So continue to do that all the way around the hair. Today we are using the Antidotpro. The Antidotpro is a cream-based antihistamine and anti-inflammatory, a moisturizer to the scalp and skin, an antioxidant and a disinfectant, a healer to wounds, and relieves itching and burning to the skin and scalp. This product can be added into your relaxer, or this product can be used on scalp. Most times I use it on scalp. If the person or the client is extremely sensitive, I'll use it inside my relaxer. Now, what you have to remember with using it inside your relaxer is that anytime you add something to your relaxer, it will bring down the strength a notch. So you have to be mindful of that product. Anytime you add something into it, it will bring down the strength. So because relaxer is made in resistant, normal, and mild, you have to remember that these formulations are exact. So anytime you add something into it, remember that it'll bring the strength down. So for example, if you want a normal result, then you use a resistant relaxer. If you want a mild result, then you would use a normal relaxer. And this is if you're adding the product into your mixture. If you want to know about the formulations, then the best thing to do is look on the back of the bottle and get your measurements from there. They do have the measurements on there, on the back of your bottle. You get your Antidotpro from www.antidotpro.com. And I believe they are $42 for the bigger bottle, which I think is a 32 ounce. It may be a 64 ounce. So continue to do this all around the head. I always save the hairline for last. I always. This is the area that irritates the most. So I always save the hairline for last. Okay, so now I'm putting it around the hairline. And you got to be very, very neat with relaxer. You do not want relaxer falling all over your client. So be very, very neat when you are applying relaxer around the hairline and around the hair. So continue to do this all the way around. Always stretching the hair when you apply the relaxer. Always stretching it, because we're usually putting this hair. Well, we are putting this relaxer on curly hair, so we're stretching the hair down and then putting the relaxer on. At this point, we're smoothing it. You can smooth it with the very thing that you use to apply it. In this video, I'm using the Framar brush to smooth the hair. You can also smooth the hair with the rat tail comb. If you need to pull out the curl more, you can pull out the curl with the comb and then use the back of the comb to smooth it. Okay? So we'll go all the way around the hair or the head to do this, just smoothing it so that your body heat can combine with the chemical and relax the hair. Notice I said relax the curl. You relax the hair. Okay, so this relaxer that I'm using today is FiberGuard normal, and it relaxes the hair about 85% straight. It doesn't relax the hair bone straight. It relaxes the hair about 80% to 85% straight. So we don't want to take everything out of the hair. We just want to relax it. So a lot of times this is good for people because they want their hair to be manageable. These are most people that have really thick hair, or most people that have hair that frizzes a lot. They want their hair to be a little more manageable. So this is what this is for. A little more than a texturizer and a little less than bone straight. So we want to keep the elasticity in the hair, and we want to keep a little bit of texture in the hair. At this point, I'm wiping off my hands with an extra towel that I use that's just laying on my station. And what I do now is I expose the scalp, and I put a little Antidotpro on my finger, and I just tap it in. I just tap it in. You expose the scalp wherever she's irritated, she or he, and you just tap it in. Not rubbing it in where you can irritate the scalp more, but just tapping it in. Tap, tap, tap. So she usually does get irritated around her ear, and that's where I'm applying her Antidotpro. So both sides around her ear, in the front of her ear and the back of her ear, is where she gets irritated most times. I'm going to also apply some Antidot around her hairline, because that's where it irritates the most. Now you can do this before you apply the relaxer. You can put the Antidotpro on top of her ears or around her ears and around her hairline before you start, even with the base on it also. You can put both on there. So now she actually should be okay for a little while longer. The relaxer should be on their hair for no more than, I think they give you 18 minutes. So 15 to 18 minutes, you should do the entire relaxer service, okay? So now she's been rinsed, she's been neutralized, she's been conditioned, and now I apply the setting lotion and styling foam, preparing for her rod set. She loves her hair rolled in the rod. She loves a curly look. So what I do now is I start to over direct her first rod, and her first rod is going to be the larger rod because we want her curls to hang forward, and so we over direct the first few rods, the larger rods. So using an end paper, I make sure I use the end paper just to get the ends in and the ends smooth. The one thing that you don't want is your ends to have fish hooks, and they don't look very nice when it's time to take it out. So continue to do this all around the head. There is no rhyme or reason for the way I'm rolling it. I do usually have a system that I roll it in. These rollers are going straight down, and they are going from large to small, but I'm not thinking so much about the perfection in the way I'm rolling it, or the system I'm using to roll it. So I do this all over, just all over her head, just rolling it down and going from large to smaller in the back. So continue all the way around. The end papers that I like to use are called the Perfect Paper. Fuji papers. Those are my favorite papers to use. You can use any end paper that you like. You can use any setting lotion and any styling foam that you like. The main thing is that you're comfortable with what you're using. So as you can see, if the hair dries out a little, you can wet it back down either with water, or you can wet it down with the setting lotion. Continue all the way around the head. You can do this on short hair, you can do this on long hair, you can do this on curly hair or straightened hair. You can do this on all textures of hair. Now with her hair, she has previously shaved sides, and so her sides are a little shorter than her hair. So, but it's grown out. So I'm gonna roll her sides just a little bit smaller. Use a smaller rod on her sides than I did around the rest of her head. So just continue all around the head, making sure that both sides are even. That's really important. Both sides need to be even. So I'm going to use a smaller rod on her sides. I want the sides to fall in a spiral, so I'll roll them on a diagonal. So do the same thing on the other side, roll them on a diagonal with a little bit of a smaller rod because the hair is shorter there. There we go. On the way to the dryer for about an hour and a half. So now her hair is completely dry. She actually sat under the dryer for about an hour and a half, and she actually slept in her rollers. I don't know how she did, but she got good sleep, she said, with sleeping in her rollers. So we're taking them down at this point. It's completely dry. That's very, very important. If it's not dry, it will frizz up on you. So you got to make sure that it's completely dry, and you got to make sure that the client sits under the dryer for the time that is needed for it to dry. It could be up to 2 hours for some clients. Just get a good book or play on your phone. Give them some coffee, give them some bottled water and some snacks, and they'll be fine under the dryer. So there's many people who absolutely love this look. I did them a lot, and when I was in my salon. I did them a lot, and I still do them a lot on my family and friends. These styles last for quite a while, at least 2 weeks. So you could get some good wear out of these looks. And I encourage you to learn to roll, learn on base, off base, and over direction. That's very important for our business. And it's important to curl, to learn how to curl. Whether you are curling with a round brush or a curling iron, or a roller, okay? So now what I'll do is I'll put some hair dressing on her hair. In this video, I'm using Cream Press by Dudley Products. This is my absolute favorite hair dressing. It creates beautiful shine, and I just massage it into her hair. I massage it in. Now the second hair dressing that I use is the Easy Curling and Waving Wax by Dudley Products also. I also do the same thing with that. I massage it into the hair. You emulsify it really, really good into the palm of your hand, and you just massage it, massage it, massage it. See how those curls are loosening up? So after this, I pull them apart. I pull the curls apart so you don't see any parts in the hair. So you just pulling those curls apart until you don't see any scalp. It's really a beautiful look. It's really beautiful, and I appreciate you so much for watching. And hopefully you'll get to do a rod set on someone. Even if you have to try it on someone, just ask someone, can I do a rod set on you? I think you would like that. So just try it. I think you'll like it. Continue to pull them apart. It turned out really beautiful, and she's still wearing it today, and it's just beautiful. You sleep in a satin cap, and you just pull it out every morning. You can put a little oil or hair dressing on your hands every morning and go through it, pull it out a little bit every morning, and your client will really enjoy this look. It's a beautiful look. Run your hands through it a little bit. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the older it gets, the cuter it is. So thank you for watching once again.